So welcome back. Here we are with another video, as promised. Again, if you see me looking down, it's because I have my notes. But I first want to say this. To the people in these high positions that try to send their minions through people to try to get to me to silence me, you did nothing more than upset me. I will say that. Also, I want to thank you for verifying just about all of these concerns that was brought to my attention. You did nothing more than expose even more ugly heads of the people that's involved. Where you were wrong was messing with my child. In a second. So thank you again for showing your ugly heads, for showing the pattern of things and all the people that's involved. I truly thank you. And if you haven't learned by now, you have officially met your match. So, yesterday, I got an email. I was included in this email. I was CC'd on this email because it was pertaining to my child. I got this email about 1:30 yesterday. I didn't see it until later that night because I was cooking for me and my staff. Yes, we like to eat together and fellowship. It's one of the many things we enjoy doing together. So I didn't see this email until I got home. I will read to you guys this email. So, good afternoon. Upon receiving clarification from the State Special Education Department, we were told we need to obtain a consent to evaluate for speech and language, as we do not accept out-of-state consents to evaluate, nor do we accept a partial consent, whether in or out of state. We are required to have an Alaska consent form signed before we can proceed. Please find attached a consent to evaluate for speech and language. Please email a signed copy ASAP. Okay. So this was sent to me about my child. You want me to sign this consent form ASAP. How professional is that? But okay, cool. So with that, we were sent this consent form that they wanted us to sign. This consent form, right? Which was still partial, by the way. If you do not accept partial consent forms, then why would you send me a partial consent form? Even more so, why would you send me something that I know for certain that we did when we had my child's IEP meeting, which was about a week and a half ago? I know it was, I was late to this meeting because we had some things that we had to deal with, and I was already in a mood because it was a very emotional day. So I go to this meeting, I sit down, which was recorded, by the way, the whole meeting. So I know for certain that I signed this paper because I had to go back just to verify to make sure, because again, I was in another zone, another place at this point. So I was there, but I really wasn't there, but I knew I had to be in attendance because it's something to deal with my child. So just to verify that I know we signed this paper, I had to go back to listen to this recording to make sure that I didn't miss anything. Of course I didn't miss anything because it also states it in the meeting notes of this IEP, right? So let me find this. So in these meeting notes for my child's IEP, because they give us a copy of this, everything is in black and white. It states, we the parents said that we only revoked our consent for academic testing. Then they asked if there were any other questions. We asked when our child would be evaluated for reading, writing, and math. The special ed person or department person added that the school district is ready to move forward in areas of academics. After some discussion and clarification, everyone in the room agreed that my child could be evaluated. Since academic autism was suspected, the parents agreed to evaluation in the following areas: cognitive, adaptive, behavior, social, emotional, and educational things for math, writing, and reading. The IEP person from this department asked if we were sure that we wanted to evaluate. I said that before, because of the emails before this meeting, we felt rushed. But now that it has been explained, we want to move forward with the evaluations. The person in that department apologized for the parents feeling rushed. She did not mean for them to feel rushed. She then explained that once the consent is signed, the time clock starts ticking. The team agreed that an IEP would be developed to accommodate my child's needs. Team members physically present signed, dated, and marked in agreement the contents that were discussed. The team discussed and was in agreement with the new goal and its accompanying objectives. The procedure safeguard section was reviewed. Let me just jump into that. Because in this email, she referenced the state special education department. With me, I have the parental rights, which is the procedural safeguards, right? And I want you guys to look this up because all of this is public information. And I'll make sure that I put the links to everything that I discuss in this video so you guys can look for yourself. Don't hold me for my word. Go read it with your own eyes so you can see for yourself everything that I'm reading, right? Okay. So, I also have Alaska's Special Education Parents Guide, right? So, in this, it says how the parents have the right to get an evaluation outside of the district's psychologist or whatever they was trying to get us to, go with. They wanted us to get my son evaluated with a psychologist first before we even did any of this, basically, right? So when it was brought into question why no one was giving us any answers at first until I started emailing back and asking all these questions. And then I guess they saw the verbiage that I was using because, I know what I'm talking about and I'm not dumb. And if I don't, I'm going to research it because it's pertaining to my child. So that's where you had me messed up to begin with, my child, okay? So in this, it says everything as a right, being a parent, that you have the right to do. You have the right to get an evaluator outside of the one that the district, asks you to do. You have these rights. So anyway, before any of that, the person from the special education department said, or, since your son is already diagnosed with autism, which he is in another state, he's had two, actually. One in the lower 48 and one here. Since your child was already diagnosed and it's on paper already, you can just sign an ROI. But it's funny you say that because you told another parent that they couldn't use information from another state. So which one is it? Or does it vary by parent? I'm asking for all the people, honestly, that wants to know, including myself. Okay, so in this guide, the Parents Guide for Alaska Special Education, it says, referral, under the section referral, parents are an important part of the special education process. If a person refers your child for special education, the school is required to get parental permission to conduct an evaluation. Parents are encouraged to speak openly to school staff to understand the process and advocate for their child's needs. This is all public information, you guys. I won't go too much into any of these because we'd be reading for days about all the stuff. And I could go into these emails and show you where you contradict yourself, but I just want all the parents to go and see this for yourself. Again, this is the Alaska Special Education Parents Guide, where you can find this on the state special education department, since, it was referenced. You can find this on their website. You will also find the Notice of Procedural Safeguards, Parental Rights for Special Education. This is pretty thick. It's a little pamphlet. It will tell you all your rights as a parent you have. So all the things they're trying to tell you that you don't have and that you can't do, you have that right as a parent to voice to express yourself and your voice for your child. Okay? As soon as we got our own representation and advocate to sit in on this meeting, because at this point, I didn't want to read. I didn't want to hurt my head reading, okay? As soon as we got our own representation and advocate for these things, all of a sudden, you guys, everybody got a brand new attitude. Because it's like, oh man, they really read. They really know they have rights. So at the end of you guys' let me see if I have it, IEP thing. Yep, right here. It shows you all these advocate places that you can call. I really want you guys to read this. Call these people when you have questions. They will not lead you wrong. They will make sure if they don't know the answer, they will go to somebody to get the answer and get back with you. So use these resources that they are giving you because they truly don't believe that you're going to read them. So read these things, you guys. Okay? Read these things. So now that we're over that, let's get into the rest of these things. So a couple of people asked me about certain ways and I'm not sure the word for it, but I guess chain of command and some things and how they can go about doing things. Because a lot of questions came about how I speak on teachers' wrongful write-ups, right? So also with me, I have this district's negotiated agreement, right? All of this that I have is public information. You guys can pull this for yourself. I did not go through nobody to get this. I did not ask where I could find it. I went to Google and put in a question and it popped up. So I searched this for myself. It is public information. You guys can go and read it and grab it and comb through it for yourself. Again, I will put the links for this because don't take my word for it. Read it for yourselves because I want you guys to see what I see. Okay? So these teacher write-ups, again, I have this negotiated agreement that I pulled from this district's website. Public information. The question was, how come, since we are in a union state, I want you, the people who don't live in Alaska, to know this. It is a union state, okay? One of the few that is left with a union. Why don't they go and tell their leadership? We already concluded that here the leadership is just bad. Just honestly, just bad. Corrupt. Just bad. After reading for myself, I also realized that, man, there is a union. But you guys, guess who the union president is? The principal's wife. So how can, if they can't go to their leadership now, how could they go to the union president if she's already one of the ones that can't be trusted? It just would not work because it wouldn't leave here. That's one. You guys may say, well, go to the VP. Guess who the VP is? The assistant principal's wife. Can't even go to her without an unbiased opinion. So yes, to answer your questions, no, they cannot go to their union because the union is some of the people that engages in some of this bullying. So that's already not even something they could do. Another thing, teacher evaluations. Now, I will speak on, I can't speak on everyone's because I don't know everyone's, things. I did happen to overhear some stuff. I did happen to ask when I was speaking to other people that left the district and that was forced to leave the district about their evaluations. And it somewhat, aligns with some of the things that's going here. And this is just my opinion. No one else's. However, it does seem like the people that you guys were trying to force out, trying to bully, trying to make fold, got extremely low evaluations this year. I will say personally that I know when it came to my person's evaluation. So from what I read, it was a score. You can score them from 1 to 4. She went from a 3.44 in just February to November, a 2.69, it could be a 2.89. I don't know. So she was marked as developing. Right on the. Now it's funny that the person that did her evaluation was only in her classroom for 1 minute and 30 seconds. I don't know how you can honestly do an effective evaluation in under 2 minutes and then evaluate someone way lower than what they were just scored at. But I also know it's kind of funny that the same person that evaluated her was the same person that came to her and said, hey, I really liked your intervention thing that you did up. Is it okay for me to send it to other people in different villages? Because it really is great. But you scored her as developing. You guys see where there's like, how? How can you use my work, ask me to use my work to show as an example to different people within this district and in the different villages, but you mark me as so low than I just was last year? But it makes sense because of all the things that has been happening, all the things that has led up to this point and how you guys basically tried to get them to leave. So that makes sense. Sports. Because I mean, anybody else waiting on their principal to start working? Because there's so many concerns and so many things that can be done, and our principal just seems to have no interest in nothing but coaching these sports. So you have time for nothing else but these sports, but you can take a day off work and go in these classrooms. Oh, because it's your turn to evaluate now. You can go in these classrooms for less than 20, 25 minutes and do everybody's evaluation in one day. That, you're pretty great, huh? I guess so. But okay. Moving on to the next video, because this video will have to be broke down in like maybe 2 or 3 parts, because honestly, it's just so much. So many things that has been brought to my attention. So many things. And I really want to thank all the awesome people that I've been able to communicate with and meet from different villages. Like, I never would have thought that I could talk to people so far away, not even meet you, and have such a great conversation. I also want to thank the people that left the district, went other places, and the people that were forced to be silenced before they left the district. I also want to thank you guys for coming and sharing your story, because I will make sure that I get to it. So I will try to post a video today, and I will try to do one tomorrow. So stay with me. Now back to my points, right? So not only could you do all these evaluations in one day after going in these classrooms for less than 20, 25 minutes, right? But you also sent us, or sent an email saying, you know, I'm gonna send this spreadsheet so we can, you guys let us know what's broken, what needs to be replaced in your units. And you sent it on a spreadsheet. Then you turned around maybe a few days later, it could even be a week, and say, you know what? Nah, don't worry about it. I'm gonna do it myself. I'm gonna come do housing inspections. I am, along with another person, is gonna come walk through your units and take a list of everything that's broken. Now, with my company, again, different companies, we do not do a housing inspection unless a person is moving in or a person is moving out. I cannot effectively do a housing inspection if you still are dwelling in the house. I mean, what exactly am I going to ask you to move your stuff around so I can see your walls and so I can see certain things? I don't know how I can do an effective housing inspection with you in this unit. Now, I also will add that in about 4 years I'm about to be here, this is the first housing inspection we ever had, you know. But okay, come on in. It's more than fine and welcome. I usually don't, I usually don't invite devils into my house, but it's more than fine, you know. I can pray and sage once you leave. It's more than fine. Now with that, because it's like, hey, man, that's crazy. Housing inspections? That is so crazy. But again, come on in. No problem. On the leasing agreement, because anything with my name on it, I want a copy of. I want to make sure that I'm squared away, okay? On this leasing agreement, it says, access to premises. We shall not unreasonably withhold consent to the person that we rent from or its agents to enter and to our unit to inspect the premises, right? Make necessary or agreed repairs, alterations, or improvements. It also says that in this housing agreement is a housing checklist, right? The purpose of this document is to verify the condition of premises and furnishings. This same form will be used to check out at the end of the school. After this housing checklist has been completed at the end of school, the district has the right to make additional inspections to determine if there exists pet damage not discovered during the end of the school year checkout. So I guess we all got pets now, so we can have more inspections. Again, which is fine. It's probably something they're trying to implement or incorporate with their policies and things like that. But you guys in other districts, how often do you guys have housing inspections? Because again, this is the first one I've had, and I've been here about to be 4 years. More than fine, you can come on in, because my house is nice and safe. Do got toys everywhere, because the kids is always into something. Just really funny that all of a sudden we're having housing inspections. Now, since we're talking about these housing inspections, I was told that my broken window would be fixed. Now, the same broken window that is listed in this housing checklist from September 8th of 2023. Okay? So I was told last summer that this would be fixed. But now, almost all these months later, all of a sudden you need a list of what needs to be fixed, when it was already noted exactly what needed to be fixed, which has not been fixed, by the way. And again, as you guys, if you were in the last video, you know that I went on medical leave. I was gone for 2 months. It could have been fixed then. When I came back, the only person that had new windows on their house was their friend. Not one household with the child. So we just gonna say that. Now, it's also funny that you all of a sudden want to do housing inspections. But again, if you guys been following my page for a while, you would know that in January, I released a few of these recordings. Not one time did you mention or say anything about a housing inspection then. And what I mean by these recordings, it was brought to everyone's attention that the AP and his wife was homebrewing. I released these audio recordings as proof that, by the way, was sent up higher. I know it was sent up, but I won't tell you how. Since you guys are Spectre Gadgets, all of a sudden you can figure it out, since you're so good at that, right? I know that it was sent up, meaning it went past the people here. It was sent up even higher. You know what happened? Nothing. It fell on deaf ears. I also know that in a different village, there was a rumor. Just a rumor, you guys. So they move real fast when it comes to rumors from their friends. It was a rumor that a person was drinking. I don't know if the rumor was as to them transporting it in or homebrewing it or what. Just a rumor that this person was involved in drinking, alcohol use. This person was then suspended. I can't remember the amount of days. They were suspended without pay based off of a rumor. But when they had these audio clips with the people's voice admitting to not only homebrewing more than 5 gallons, also transporting in alcohol and the amount of how much alcohol was transported in, nothing happened. No one was suspended. Nothing at all. But of course, these are your friends, right? So you want to try to hurry up and get that out the way and let time pass so it can just be swept under the rug, because you want your friends to walk out of here, no repercussions, with good letters of recommendations to either go to a different site or to a different district, getting off the hook. But when it comes to other people that you guys try to bully into being compliant, I'm going to suspend you. Or you know what? Not only am I going to suspend you, I won't even give you a contract for next year. Because, you're not my friend. You're not my people. I'm not even going to look out for you. I'm going to just get rid of you. Could you imagine working for a district that would allow their leadership, not just the teacher, but their administration, the leaders that they purposely put into these positions? Because this is not just here in St. Michael. I have been able to talk to such great people and make such great connections to where we have been able to pinpoint these patterns. These same people that are putting these people in these positions that made friendships with the people up top. So the same people that you guys chose to put into these positions, they can just do whatever they want, huh? It's nothing. Because you're my friend, we just gonna let time pass, and I'm gonna say I spoke to you. I'm not gonna do no housing inspection or anything. So, again, bringing up this negotiated contract, right? In their contract, on page 50, I'll give you the page. It's the definition of alcohol use. Alcohol use means the consumption of any beverage, mixture, or preparation, including any medication containing alcohol. Now let's take it back even further. Reasonable suspicion. You will find this on page 45 of this negotiated contract. Reasonable suspicion is defined as drug and or alcohol testing based upon belief that an employee is using or has used, and violation drawn from specific, objective, and facts, reasonable inferences drawn from those facts in light of experience, and may be based upon, among other things, a report of drug use provided by reliable and credible sources, which has been independently corroborated. So I guess recordings with them in their own voice admitting to everything that they're doing is not reasonable suspicion. Evidence that an employee is involved in the use, possession, sale, solicitation, or transfer of drugs while acting in the scope of his or her employment or upon district premises. Possession of equipment or paraphernalia pertaining to alcohol or illegal drug use by an employee on district premises. Again, I'm assuming that audio recordings with them admitting to this is not enough. So for everyone that's like, what audio? She doesn't have that. Oh, call your bluff. I'll insert it for you.
We have rum and Coke.
Rum and Cokes.
We can do vodka,
Vodka.
gin. I have my.
We have wine.
We have wine and Merlot.
Do you want a
we brew 6 gallons. It's finally come to go. I also have mead, which is honey mead that I brewed, and then I have the.
I also want to say, because I did get the question, why did you record them? And I'll let one of the greats answer that question.
Then said, why would you record him? Just like you sat there and said, you know it's illegal to, but did you hear what the man said? I violated.
That is just a few of my bullet points. I still have multiple things that we can go through here. But I would just leave you guys with that. Again, I will reiterate like I did in my last video. If I can do nothing more than spread awareness with these videos, I've done my job. If I can do nothing more but have people that's in these state positions to now bring more attention and oversight to the people in these small rural villages, I will do my job. If I do nothing but motivate the corrupt people that knows they are wrong to start doing something a little different and actually start to care, I have done my job. And I also will reiterate, sending your minions to try to silence me will do nothing more than make me upset. You have officially met your match. All right, you guys, until the next video.